What's up, everybody? I want to talk about purpose in this video. Purpose. What is your purpose? Do you know what your purpose is? Do you know why you're here? Have you ever thought about it? Or are you like, I feel most people that don't really know why they're here and don't know what their purpose is? I want to talk a little bit about that. You know, finding your purpose. Once you know your purpose, man, life just gets so much better. Now, let me say this before I get into this video. Um, you don't just have one purpose, right? How I like to explain it, you know, you have like an ultimate purpose, and then there's all kind of like smaller purposes that you'll have on the way to your ultimate purpose. Though, let's say, like, we could use the example of going to school, right? You start off in, I don't know, preschool, whatever, daycare, whatever. You go to kindergarten, then the first grade, the second grade, on and on and on until you graduate, right? Your ultimate purpose of going to grade school is to graduate high school with a diploma. That's the ultimate purpose. But you have all kind of purposes built into that, like that you need to I guess you could say accomplish, you know all of these different purposes in order to come into the ultimate purpose, which is graduating. For example, I don't know if I explained that right, but what I'm saying is, you know when you're in kindergarten, well, that might not be a good example because I don't know, can you even fail kindergarten? I don't know. That would be pretty hard to do. But let's say first grade, right? Your purpose while you're in first grade is to pass first grade, right? And then so under that umbrella, you'll have like a bunch of smaller purposes. You know, like, say for example, your purpose on, a specific day may be, I have to pass this test, right? Teacher been going over material with you, and boom, now you have a test, right? So your purpose is, I have to pass that test. But before that, your purpose is what? To pay attention to the material being presented. Your purpose is to learn, to remember, right? So you can pass that test. And then boom, you do all that successfully, but school continues. And that's pretty much what school is made up of. You're being fed information, and then, you receive a test or an exam to see how well you've remembered or retained what was taught. And if you retain enough of what was taught, then you pass and you get to go on to the next level. So you have all of these purposes. That's first grade, and then second grade, and then third grade, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way up to the 12th. The purpose, the ultimate purpose being to graduate high school and get your diploma. But you have all these purposes on the way to that ultimate purpose. So that's the same with life. If you feel like your ultimate purpose is to be, I don't know, a musician, right? That your ultimate purpose is to be like some sort of musician. You have so many purposes that you have to fulfill, on the pathway to fulfilling that ultimate purpose. And, I don't know what they are. This ain't my show, you know. So I'm just saying, like, for example, one of my purposes is to be a life coach. I am a certified master life coach now. But before that, um, there were so many other purposes that played a role in me getting to this point to where I am now. And, I've been, I've had formal training, I have certifications to go, all of that, you know. Um, I've been certified as a happiness life coach, as a goals success life coach, as a life purpose life coach, just as a general life coach, master life coach, all these things. I've been preparing, you know, to be a coach for probably 20, 25 years. It didn't just start with me successfully completing, the formal training, like the official training, the official life coaching training, and, mastering these different techniques and advanced strategies and things. It started way before that for me. The papers, the certificates I have, it's just, you know, just some paperwork that, somebody that didn't know me could look at, and, it could add legitimacy to my practice, you know. But for people that know me, I've been in training for this unknowingly. 20 years ago, I don't even think the term life coach existed. You know, um, for me, I was just trying to survive. Just trying to get through another day. 20 years ago. But the whole time I was learning things I didn't even realize, back then. But you know, looking back, I was learning things that would apply to my coaching practice 20 years in the future, which, it's amazing how that works. But yeah, so there was so many things, so many, smaller purposes to fulfill, that had to be fulfilled in order for me to get to where I am today. So, you know, I feel every day you have a purpose. Every single day there's purpose in your life. If say for example, um, driving, I'm on the way to the store or something, and I see, somebody, on the street holding a sign, you know, I need help, homeless, whatever. I pull over, I shoot them a few dollars, right? That's purpose, right? That's purpose. And I just did something to make someone else's life just a little bit easier. I did something that may, you know, uh, bring just a little bit of hope to an individual. Make someone's life a little bit better. You know, um, so every day there's purpose for your life, for you being here. But then, what is that ultimate purpose? You know, do you know what that is? Do you know what your day-to-day purposes are? Life gets much more interesting and much more fun to live, the more you know about why you're here. So if you don't know what your purpose is, if you have no idea like why you're here, I'm gonna share some things, and I don't know if you can see, it's like my video is going in and out. Let me see. Like the color is like it'll go like regular, then it'll get bright. But I don't know, whatever to that. So I'm gonna share some things in this video that could help you identify your purpose. Okay. And I'm talking about your ultimate life's purpose, your ultimate reason for being here. And you may have more than one, you know. But anyway, without, being super technical and everything, how do you know what your purpose is? Well, one, some things about your life purpose. One thing about it is your purpose, your ultimate purpose for being here is always going to be something that you really enjoy doing. It's going to be something that you love to do, something that you're incredibly passionate about, right? If you listen to, like I listen to a lot of motivational talks and speeches and stuff like that, and I listen to a lot of speeches, from, like, really successful people, right? And one thing that they all say across the board when just kind of giving advice on what you should do with your life, right? As far as a career or a job, and, things along these lines. One thing that's said universally across the board is to do something that you love to do, right? Now, whatever it is you love to do, chances are that's gonna be very closely related to your purpose of being here, if not being the purpose, your ultimate purpose for being here. It's gonna be something you love. It's gonna be something that you enjoy. It's gonna be something that you'll do, whether you get paid to do it or not, right? You're gonna do it. Because you love it so much. You get so much enjoyment from doing it, right? Now, it could be anything. It could be literally anything. It could be freaking taking out the trash. This one neighborhood I used to live in, there was a guy. Actually, my neighbor lived right next door to me. But every morning on trash day, this guy would go up and down the entire street and take everybody's trash out on the street. Everybody. Every single trash day. He did this consistently, like the entire time I lived in this neighborhood. It was something he enjoyed doing. He felt, I'm not going to say how he felt because I don't know how he felt, but it's something he did consistently every single week without fail. And I have to assume he enjoyed doing it to some degree, right? But just think about that. Like, what would cause somebody to do that? Like, I had never even had the thought to do something like that. And I feel like that's a thought that most people have never had. That I'm just going to take out everybody's trash on the entire street, right? And I'm going to do this every single week. I'm sure not many people have had that thought at all, right? But this guy had the thought, and not only did he have the thought, he was so inspired by it that it caused him to take action and to actually carry the thought out and to be consistent, do it consistently week after week after week after week after week for free. He took my treasure. I never paid it. I mean, I never even, the thought never entered my mind to pay it. And this is something talking like, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago. Never even thought about paying it. I'm sure, some people paid it, but, you know, um, which I can't even say that for sure. I just, I imagine some people did, and I imagine, some people didn't. I know for sure I didn't. So I'm just saying, your purpose could be anything. It could be anything. You have to, take inventory of yourself. What do you like to do? What do you love doing? When you're doing it, like what is it that you do that when you're doing it, right, you just feel so there. You feel so calm and relaxed and so fulfilled, right? Because whatever your purpose is, that's how you're going to feel. You're going to love doing it. You're going to enjoy doing it. When you're doing it, you're going to feel fulfilled, okay? That's a great place to start. Now, just because it's something that you love to do does not mean that it's going to be your purpose. And just because it's something, that you're good at doing, that doesn't mean it's going to be your purpose either. Like, I'm good at a lot of stuff. I cut hair. I'm really good at cut hair. I think I'm better than a lot of barbers in my city at cutting hair. But I don't want to be a barber. I've been cutting hair for at least 20 years. At least. And I'm good. But I don't want to be a barber. I don't want to work in a barber shop. I'm good at drawing. But I don't want to be an artist. I've been drawing. Well, I don't draw now. But as a kid, I used to draw all the time. I really love doing it. Like, really, really enjoy doing it. Now I don't draw at all, unless my son, one of my sons is good at drawing. And, occasionally, he hasn't really done it lately, but, there's times in the past he'd come and want to draw and ask me to draw with him or even challenge me to a drawing contest. So I would to, because that's my son, that's us spending time together. So, on the strength of that, I would draw. But it's not something that I enjoy doing, although I'm good at it. So just take stock of your life and, write down everything that you're good at doing. Or not good at doing, but everything that you really enjoy doing. Everything that you really love to do. Right? And like I said, that's a good place to start. And let me add this. It could be that your purpose, your ultimate purpose, hasn't even been introduced to you yet. Right? Like this life coaching thing for me is new. This is a totally new field for me, although, the things that I teach, I've been learning for over 20 years. And these are all things that I've applied to my personal life. So, and these are things that I've seen work with me. Things that I've seen and experienced transform my life. But as far as, like teaching it to other people, on a large scale, like that's all new to me. And, all the things that I've been doing for the past 20 plus years was to improve the quality of my life. I wasn't doing it with, thinking one day I'm going to be a life coach. That wasn't in my mind, like I said, that term, I don't even think that term was around like 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. And so this is like a new discovery for me. So it's possible that you haven't even been introduced to your purpose yet. You know, it could be that um, you just don't know. You just haven't gotten to that point yet. But like I said, you'll have so many purposes along the way, you know, to discovering what your ultimate purpose is or to fulfilling your ultimate purpose. There'll be so many other purposes along the way. I'm an author, you know, and I'm a fairly new author. Um, my first book came out, or it's not official, although it's available for purchase. It hasn't officially been published, you know, because you can only get it through me and through my website. But the point, and I have 2 more books. So I've written 3 books, like complete. I got 3 books written, right? 5 years ago, I wasn't thinking about writing books, right? I have to conclude that being an author is a part of my ultimate purpose. But it took me, I'd say, about 3 years, you know, on my first book. Prior to that, I wasn't thinking about being an author. Had no idea that I even enjoyed writing. Like that wasn't even on the radar. And now it is. And now that's a new thing, right? And you know, I'm recently discovering, you know, and by recently I mean within a period of 5 years, that I like to write, you know. So, you know, it could be that you haven't even been introduced to it yet. And then you got people like uh Warren Buffett that, you know, he knew what he wanted to do with his life at like 9 years old, right? For somebody like me, I've dibbled and dabbled into so many things, you know, and much of what I've experimented with has never left the ground. You know, I've never gotten my foot in the door. But at the same time, at that moment, you know, I feel like that was a part of my purpose for that moment. You know, I've been to school for locksmithing, I've been to school for machining and CNC programming. I've been had a little bit of schooling for accounting. I've like so many things. You know, I've tried it. I've tried out, and you know, maybe they were purposes for that moment to get me through that period of time. But you know, that wasn't. Those things had nothing to do with my ultimate purpose. And so that's what I got for you right now. Um, what do you love to do? What do you really enjoy doing? You know, and like so many other people say, like, what would you do? Like, just take money out the equation. Don't even think about money or how much money you could make doing whatever. Take that out the equation. What are you gonna do? Like, what would you do, and what do you do, regardless of whether you get paid for it or not? You know, like Dr. Dre, he I believe it was him that said that, you know, when talking about making music, I was watching a video of him just being interviewed, and I think it was 20 out of 20 or 25 years or something like that. There was only, I think he said it was only 2 weeks out of like a period of 20 or 25 years that he was not in the studio. 2 weeks out of a 20 or 25-year period, right? Because he loves it that much. And I believe he also said that he would be making music whether he got paid for it or not. If he was working as a plumber, he would still be making music on the side because that's how, I mean, he just loves it that much, you know. And when you love something that much, making money from it is just a perk, you know. It's not required, you know. Like, say, like, a lot of people, you know, if you got a job, you know, you're probably not gonna go to that job and put in 8 hours a day if you're not getting paid, right? If you don't love it that much, you know. But when it's something that you love to do, it don't matter if you get paid for it or not. You still gonna do it because of how it makes you feel doing it. So that's all for this. I'm gonna stop right there. There could be, you know, a little more to it, but that's the main thing right there. Um, so this is Kev, the life coach. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm out.